Northey Island is a really special place. It's an island that can only be reached by tidal causeway about 3 hours either side of low tide. It sits in the Blackwater estuary right in the middle of the Maldon Heybridge basin. Northey is about 110 hectares and 80% roughly of that is made up of saltmarsh. Saltmarsh is what we describe as an intertidal habitat. So it's the habitat that is covered and uncovered as the tide comes in and out. It's home to an incredibly diverse range of flora and fauna. It's really delicate ecological balance where even things like the decomposing shells of stranded crabs change the pH, and that helps saltmarsh really thrive. So not only is saltmarsh important ecologically speaking, it's incredibly good at capturing and locking up carbon, and as soon as you do a realignment project and that former grassland becomes saltmarsh, the capture starts instantly. The current phase of the coastal adaptation project in Northey began in 2017. Now the aims of the project have been diverse, but its primary focus has been around creating new saltmarsh, realigning the seawalls, also protecting and enhancing the existing saltmarsh so that it remains for many years to come, and also ensuring those habitats are fit for as diverse a range of species as possible. So managed realignment is a really carefully planned process where some of the former seawalls are actually removed to allow the tide to flood the land behind the seawall to form healthy new saltmarsh. Is a really careful process to make a really delicate ecosystem. The planning for this managed realignment lasted well over a year, but actually the work was an intense period over about a week. And there's nothing subtle about the work we needed to do. It's an incredible civil engineering project, and we had large machinery moving over 1,000 cubic metres of soil to create the breach, the creeks, and move it inland to create other features. Already we can see the scrapes that we've made just a few months back, teeming with fish, crabs, shrimps, all kinds of life. We've also removed the former overhead power lines and taken them underground. Birds used to avoid the fields with power lines in to land in, so now there's a huge amount of space that they can fly, land, use the complete area of the island. We've also had quite a novel use for some of the telegraph poles where we've cut them off about halfway down, built platforms on top, and we're hoping that oyster catchers will one day nest in those platforms. Additionally, the project has funded some incredible other techniques. We're using beneficial use of dredged sediment, which is a complex phrase, but what that means is where they remove sediment from harbours, we're using that locally to shore up the saltmarsh and enhance the existing saltmarsh. We want people to experience that, to come and learn about what we've done so that the next generation of people who will be thinking about realignment can learn from our project. So we've enhanced infrastructure, we've added gates, accessible pathways, we've got a bird hide here where people can watch some of the newly created saltmarsh. So a really well-rounded project. The saltmarsh is home to a really diverse range of flora. There's some common things like bladderwrack, common green seaweed, but actually Northey is home to two really rare and precious saltmarsh plants. One is golden samphire, which we can already see poking through the bare areas of where we've realigned, and the other is shrubby sea blight. Those provide a really incredible ecosystem just here on Northey. I think working on a project as complex and long-term as the coastal adaptation project at Northey, sometimes you get lost in the detail. It's been a real pleasure to be here today, to see the tide coming in and out, enjoy the peace of the saltmarsh on Northey. It puts you in a really contemplative mood to see the long-term legacy that you've created that will be enjoyed by countless generations beyond our lifespan.